Why are we always doing podcasts with time constraints, man?
There's a simple answer to that, man. We're always freaking busy, bro. Like, it's the morning, and we were up till like 11 p.m. last night trying to get this stuff dialed for this trip we're going on today. And it's 9:07 now, and we got to go soon, man. So, yeah.
Cramming.
We've tried, though, bro.
We have.
We've tried to dial in a good pod where we didn't have time restrictions, but
Yeah. Well, I'm coming back in January anyway, so that we need to just allocate a block
yeah,
where we can just chill out and chill. We'll still get a fair bit done today, I think.
I think we will. We got the bulk of everything sorted last night, but
We just got to put it in bags now and boost.
yeah, pretty much.
It's been a good couple of weeks, man. I've really enjoyed it. I don't spend a lot of time up here on the North Island, so it's reasonably new to me, I guess. And what you do up here is new to me as well, so it's pretty cool to kind of experience that.
What do you think about the North, man?
I reckon it's a lot like home, to be honest. Like it reminds me a lot of the central east coast of Australia. Like it's similar climate, similar vegetation, similar headlands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just a bit more hectic with like the sea, I reckon.
Okay. Yeah, well, oh, yeah. Well, we don't have Barrier Reef.
Nah, and you literally have the next big place is probably Hawaii. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a long way.
Yeah.
You're pretty much nothing.
The Americas, mate. We got the Pacific Ocean right there.
Literally,
Yeah.
especially on the eastern side, man. Hectic. I will hit you with one question that I have had for a long time, and it's probably a good segue into this whole yarn that we're probably going to have. You're behind the camera a lot with what you do, simultaneously trying to film, hit all your KPIs for your vlogs, your branding, all that sort of stuff, and all your other commitments, but also be in the moment. How has the act of filming changed the way you experience the moments and the places that you go to, or has it?
Yeah, I honestly think I'm so used to doing it, I still remain in the moment, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think I've had my first camera in 2007. So we used to film way back then, and I think over the years it's just like, for me, the big passion of why I do this is actually creating the stories, man, creating the videos. So for me to be behind the camera in the moment, normally it would take away from the moment, but I kind of feel like I can still do it all, but still be present in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the actual filming is part of the moment.
Yeah.
I guess is a good way to put it. Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm doing the filming and I'm doing the camera work and whatever, but I'm still present in the moment. Yeah, I think it's just I'm used to being present in the moment with a camera, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. That's interesting. Do you ever just go hunting or go fishing and not take a camera?
No,
Never.
never
Thought about it?
No, never even crossed my mind that I'd want to do that, man. Because, like I said, my passion is creating the stories and sharing them to people. So, if I did that, you know, like it'd be cool and all, but I get the froth out of making the stories, man.
Yeah.
So I can't make a story out of the trip. It's kind of, I feel like I've wasted a time, even though it could have been the most epic trip in the world. I will then be devastated that I couldn't share it with the world or create the story. So, yeah, I don't go fishing or hunting without being able to try and document it for people. I will say there's one exception. Me and Briggsy, Briggsy, we did one of our recent trips we decided to do like a new system, because we're always fishing together, and normally we're vlogging the trips that we do in our own lens. Basically, we're in our own way, our own POV, and we're making the same episodes basically in our POV of the same trip, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm
No, it makes sense.
articulating properly, but anyway, so we come up with a new plan, and that was to do a day for day. So say it's a 4-day trip. One of us will get day number one. We do rock, paper, scissors or something, and someone gets day number one, someone gets day number two, then the first person gets day number three, last person gets day number four. So what that means is that when it's your day, so you're filming for your channel, your show, you're going hard doing the usual things like creating a story, making sure there's story, making sure there's something at the end of it. But the other person, so for example, if it's Briggsy's day on day number 1, he's going hardcore, creating the story, creating everything that is going to make his video out of it at the end of it. But me, I'm almost like the rolling B cam dude, like I don't have to worry about the storyline. I don't have to worry about capturing the emotions and all the shit that goes on. All I need to do is go fishing and catch fish and get it on film for Briggsy to then use on his film. Does that make sense?
That's cool, and I guess that's a way to keep, like, you still have audience crossover because you're like, oh, I'd love to see the next day of the trip from Joe's perspective. So audiences are still going to bounce between both channels without it being diluted with duplicated content.
Yeah.
That's a smart thing.
Exactly. So that's kind of the idea. But where I'm going with this is when it's not your day, so when it's Briggsy's day and I'm the B guy, I'm just trying to catch fish to supplement his film, his day, I'm not filming. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a camera rolling, but I'm not having to worry about storyline and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, and me and Briggsy talk about this quite a bit on the films that we did. We're very free feeling, like, because you're literally fishing. And it's the first time that I've been fishing like that in years where I don't have to worry about capturing the story. So I guess it is kind of cool, but we're still filming, we're still running videos, but on my mind's not having to worry about creating the storyline, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes total sense to me. Does that not contradict what you said previously?
Yeah, it does. It does to some degree, but I'm still filming and I'm still recording and all that stuff. So I'm still running the camera. I'm more in the moment, but it's a bit more free, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I guess it does contradict what I say, but it's I'm still trying to capture stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's probably to a lesser degree. Like, I'm not trying to capture like the full story and shit. So
yeah. So yeah, it's a bit more of a casual approach, but you're still actually doing it. That kind of makes sense.
So if I was to go fishing for myself and not film or anything like that, I'd probably feel pretty good about it. But I'd also feel pretty devastated because I don't have a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But when I'm forced into that situation, say for example with Briggsy, that's it. That's what we're doing. Like, there's no way around it. I'm just a B cam rolling for Briggsy to make his film epic.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know.
No, that makes sense, man. I tend to do the similar thing. Like, I usually always have a camera of some description on me, whether I film it or usually it's photos. So, like, for me, my primary passion is photography, not videography. I just use video because it's a really good business model to build off.
Yeah.
Because photography is attached to that, essentially, if you want to become like what I've built in an agency. And there's more money in video. So I usually always have a stills camera on me, and I'll usually be out and I'll collect like a catalog of images, and I rarely even post them a lot of the time. I capture stuff as I go, and it's the same principle. I guess it's a lot more of a casual approach to it, where I know I can get a film and stuff if I really wanted to do it. But I'm probably the opposite of you, because when I am shooting, all I'm thinking about is light, exposure, composition, and all that sort of stuff. I'm not really paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas your style of filming is like a day in the life, and a vlog, and it's an integral part of it because it's like organic. Whereas I'm trying to tell like what would you call it? It's not metaphorical. It's like I'm trying to tell a story cinematically where it's not going to have a lot of that reality TV feel to it.
Yeah.
Not TV, but reality feel to it.
Yeah.
It's a bit more. No, it's not fictional. I can't even think of the word. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, the visuals tell the story for you rather than with the vlogs. It's literally me like talking to the camera, like, all right, now we're doing this.
Yeah,
you know
literally.
what I mean?
That's the exact point I was making. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm quite similar. I'm keen to understand more around your love for wildlife, man.
Oh, yeah?
I think most outdoorsmen have a mad respect for wildlife and like the natural world and all that sort of stuff. But yours is like elevated to another level, and I didn't realize this until we had a chat about it the other day.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Okay,
explain what it is.
So when you say that, what do you mean? Like, do you when you say love for wildlife, are you talking about like love for fishing and hunting adventures that put me into the wildlife zones, or are you talking about like me looking for snakes and stuff like that?
Probably all of it, but the majority of like you have so much knowledge, like say zoology knowledge
Right.
of the natural world, right? So you can explain names of insects, their behavior, birds, their behavior,
Yeah.
reptiles, their behavior, all of that sort
Okay.
of stuff.
I get you. So yeah, I think as a wee kid, like my passion was animals, man. Like I was the kid that knew everything, and that was like my thing. And yeah, I don't know. I've just always had a fascination with animals, man. Like all types of animals. You know, reptiles, amphibians, right through mammals, birds, everything. And yeah, as a kid, I remember at my nana's place, you know, like we'd go around there and she'd put on like David Attenborough stuff,
Yeah.
and that I'd just be like boom glued to it as a little kid. And I think just yeah, I don't know, just most of my life I've just been really fascinated about animal behaviors and literally I could, you know, even at 7, 8 years old, you could ask me, you could show me a picture of some random like, you know, exotic type animal that we don't have in New Zealand or Australia. You know, like show me a photo of something and I'd be able to tell you exactly what it was and where it lives and what it does and all that sort of stuff. At a little kid, like it was pretty crazy, man. Like it was pretty wild back then. I was told. I reckon I knew more about animals and stuff back then than I do now, just because I'm, you know, my vision's kind of changed a little bit, but I'm still deeply passionate about wildlife, basically. Me and you have sort of spoken over the last little bit, but you now know that like when I'm away on trips with like Johnny Molossi or Briggsy on a crazy island and stuff, it's when we see some weird animal or whatever, they're like, "What is that, Joe?" I don't even live in the place, man, and I'm like the guy that knows everything. So it's really weird and really funny, but I don't know, man. I just love it. Like I've got a app on my phone, iNaturalist,
Yeah, I have that.
and yeah, literally I full log shit. You know, like if I'm away and I see something cool, I'm like, boom, take a photo, log it. Saw this at this place, and like I'm into that sort of stuff.
You're one of those like birdo people, eh?
Yeah, not just birds, bro. It's mainly like nowadays. It's more so much like snakes, reptiles, things like that, like monitor lizards, all types of elapids and snakes and stuff. And yeah, that frosts me up, bro. When I go to Australia, and one day, like Catherine's got the number. I can't remember how many it was, but she reckons it's 32 or something snakes I found in one day. But I don't know if it's that much.
They're everywhere, man. If you go looking, you'll find them.
Yeah.
If you know where to look and stuff for them and stuff and things like that. That's impressive, though.
Yeah, that was all eastern browns and tiger snakes.
Yeah. So proper dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Tigers aren't too bad, but eastern browns will fuck you
Tigers
up.
are pretty wild, bro.
Yeah, they're aggressive too, man.
Yeah, they're pretty venomous too, man.
Yeah. Oh, they'll definitely put you in hospital. But if you eastern brown bites you, you may as well just go sit down and try and
I think tiger snakes are rated number 5 in the world for the most venomous.
I think 5, yeah. 5.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
We've got most of them. It's funny, like I think probably most people know this, but New Zealand has no snakes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And the fact that you have a snake obsession is weird. That's not weird. It's not weird. I love snakes. I used to have pet Woma pythons and black-headed pythons and all that sort of stuff. It was cool as hell. I never had elapids. I was never allowed to.
Well, no, because you're not allowed to keep them. Unless you're an actual qualified person, eh?
Yeah, I used to work for the environment department. So we used to do like catch turtles and do research. So I was just like the muscle behind all the researchers.
Yeah.
So I was a guy jumping off the bow of the boat, catching turtles, and I was doing crocodile management and heaps of snake stuff. So I was very similar to you growing up, I guess. Like we said off air a couple of days ago that we used to have back in the day, and probably for younger kids, they're probably not going to know this stuff, but VHS tapes. If you don't know what that is, have a look at what it is. It's basically the old school version of DVD that's on a film. You put it into a player and you can play it. But if you've got 2 VHS players next to each other, you can play something off one VHS tape, hit record on the other VHS tape, like wind it backwards, and then you can record, basically pirate stuff back onto a VHS tape, back onto a blank VHS tape. So then that way you can copy movies and TV shows and documentaries and that sort of stuff. So I had a TV cabinet just chockers full of David Attenborough. I was a massive fan of all of his adventures, especially when he was like super young. like maybe 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was very, very similar in that respect. And we take for granted in Australia how cool our natural. New Zealand's amazing as well, but like our natural world with the broad array of like marsupials, weird marsupials that we have, and we have shit tons of snakes, like heaps of snakes and heaps of spiders and stuff. It's a pretty crazy country when you think about it.
I love it. I love it. And as you know, I sort of spend, some years I spend 2 to 3 months in Australia. I'm over there quite a bit, sort of thing. And literally, the highlight of my time over there is when I'm cruising around, like with my wife Catherine or whatever, and we're just looking for things in the outback. We literally go to walking trails, when I'm not away on trips or whatever. We go to walking trails on all trails, and we just pick the most gnarly looking ones, with lots of waterways and stuff, and then we'll just go and find shit, bro. I've got a TikTok page of me just finding snakes, man.
What is it? What's the handle?
No, I'm not going to tell people.
Oh, it's secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
One you should do that just popped into my head if you're into that sort of stuff is Hinchinbrook Island, bro.
Yeah, okay. Where's that? North Queensland?
Yeah, so like how you go to Airlie and stuff.
Yep.
And then you got Townsville above that. And then slightly north of Townsville you got Lucinda. Do you ever go off Lucinda?
I've never been north of Airlie.
Yeah, okay. There's about an hour and a half north of Townsville. There's a little town on the coast with Lucinda and a massive big sugar jetty that goes out to put sugar on ships, basically. So it's near those islands that we looked at.
Yeah.
And then Hinchinbrook Island's just on the coast, basically. It's just a landmass. I guess is broken off historically, and it's got like a delta system on the coastal side of it.
Yeah.
And the eastern side of it's just a big mountain, basically, man. And it just sits just off the coast. You can take a tinny there. Anyway, there's a walking trail where you can walk top to bottom. It's a massive rock, huge. Takes, I think, 3 days or 4 days pack hiking, and it's hectic. And it's some of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen. Like beautiful waterfalls, pristine rainforest, all that subtropical rainforest stuff like bushland and everything on the bottom. And it's incredible, crystal clear streams. And you can hike from one end to the other. You got to book it and stuff because it's all. I think it's World Heritage. I know it's National Heritage, but it might be World Heritage. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to book it to go there and stuff like that. But it's incredible. You'd really enjoy that one.
Yeah, I should do it one day, man. I should go. I need to come up your way and actually check out your neck of the woods, man. I've never been up to Townsville.
Yeah, well, there's heaps up there, man. Like, and even further north. Like, I feel like you'd really enjoy Cape York.
Oh, that's on the bucket list for me. I've never done Cape York, but that I 100% want to go to Cape York and explore. Fish, hunt, do whatever. I just want to go and spend a week up there or something.
It's one of those places where it's like the east side of Cape York and like Iron Range is beautiful rainforest and beaches where the sand is so soft it's like dust.
Wow.
It's like snow almost. It's weird.
Yeah.
And then there's like the fishing is insane. There's chittle deer up there. There's buffalo, pigs, all that sort of stuff. The center of it is all like savanna-y bushland, all the way to the west coast of the Cape, and it's incredible, man. Big lagoon systems and crazy like sight fishing. The reef's just like literally you could take a 3-meter punt from where you would camp to the reef, and literally another 10 minutes, and you're on the outer reef sitting on the sand cay.
Wow.
And you're on the shelf. Like, it's insane how close the reef comes up there.
Wow.
Insane, man. It's a beautiful place. But yeah, I love the north.
Big crocodilian central up there.
Heaps
though.
of them, man.
Yeah.
Heaps of them. Yeah. That segued pretty crazy. Not even talking.
It's all about the segues, man. It's all about the segues with me and you.
Yeah, well, I don't structure any podcasts either. I like just having a yarn. Man, tell me about why does. Now I'm going to rephrase. With your stags, like you've hunted and shot so many trophy red stags. What my definition of a trophy is anyway, like big old animals. And you've hunted them and killed them and shot them so many times. Does it get old? I know the answer, but does it get old? And what makes each hunt individually different and valuable?
Fair bit to unpack there.
Yeah.
I think, so as you know, when I go out on these trips, especially the solo ones, I'm generally finding all sorts of animals. But, if I'm going to pull the trigger on something, it needs to be something that gets me excited, which is generally a big old animal. Something, it doesn't have to be the gigantic antler size. but it just needs to be an old, mature animal that's, been around a bit, man. And they're hard to find. You know all about it. They're hard to find. They're hard to hunt. They're real crafty. And I like to just have the challenge of those are the ones I want. Those are the ones I'm after. And it's a big part of it's probably literally the challenge, I can go out there and it's not going to be, I know it's not going to be easy. I know I'm going to have to really grind for it and work hard for it. And that's kind of why I like to sort of target those animals. I'm not a trophy guy. Like I'm not, you've seen around my place here, you've seen a few antlers and things like that, but you won't see a stag mounted up on the wall or anything like that. Like there's a tar skull up behind you there from a big bull that me and Joe Fluerty and Jack Russell got one year. But like as you know, like this pod studio is pretty new, and I'm trying to figure out where I put it. And I'm like looking at that, like, I don't know, I just don't feel right about putting that up there. For some reason, I don't know how to explain it. But I'm not like I don't like to look around and see all walls covered in things I've shot.
Can you try and explain that?
Yeah.
Can you attempt it? Because that's very intriguing to me.
Yeah, very intriguing to me as well. Like, some of the hunting and fishing stores around the country, they've got things I've hunted. There's boars and stags or whatever in some of the stores, and you go to the Halley Rural Hangar and there's a wall of antlers and chamois and tar and stuff like that. But for me, it's not like, and my background being guided hunting, I'm very used to the fact that, so some of these Americans would literally have a trophy room that's bigger than my house, bro, and full air conditioned, full blah, 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 with 100 mounted animals in there, millions and millions of dollars worth of hunts. And they're showing me the photos and they're all excited. And for me, I'm just like, it's not really me. I don't go out there to shoot something to put it on my wall. So to explain that, you're going to have to prompt me along this one. Because this one's, I don't even know if I understand it, man.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty much the hunt, and then it, in a nutshell, it probably all boils down to the storyline that, like what we talked about at the start of this podcast, my passion is creating the videos. So if I can create the story and make it into a cool video, that's my trophy. The videos are my trophy. Prompt me, bro. What didn't I cover?
No, you basically, you hit it with like an umbrella answer, which makes sense.
Yeah.
All that makes sense. So then remove the death of the animal then, because it's not irrelevant to you, but like you're just looking for a good, healthy animal. Why not just go out, let's exclude YouTube for a second and just say you're not creating content to make money from it, and you're not a personal brand and business.
Yeah.
Why go out and do that?
I just like being in the environment. I like being, just out in the wild. I like the experience of the adventure.
So if you weren't, so then, and I'm poking to try and get answers. Like why shoot a stag then?
Because it goes back to what we just spoke about. The stags are the hardest one to hunt.
Yep.
I mean, if I go into the mountains on the first day, I could shoot a deer pretty easily, and that's not my plan. Like my plan is to really grind for it, and the hardest challenge out there is those big old stags. So yeah, I think the challenge. I guess I like the challenge, man.
So you're like you're rather than just going on a big mountain hike, and like, because people do that, obviously they go and like walk a mountain range and camp and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
which is challenging in itself. You've added another layer to that and applied hunting on top of essentially spike camping. Basically, is what you're doing within reason, with a lot of the stuff that you do. So you've amplified the challenge. You've probably doubled it at least, because there's even more physicality in that. Because most people will hike a mountain on the top and a trail and all that sort of stuff. Whereas if you shoot an animal and it rolls down into monkey scrub and like beech forest and stuff, that's a mission to go down there and retrieve it and then hike it back to camp.
Yeah.
It's like all of that sort of stuff, I guess, amplifies it. Why do that? Like, and hang on, let me add context. Where you hunt is some of the gnarliest places in New Zealand. Proper, remote, dangerous, sketchy country, like Hell's Gate shit. Why not just hunt low country?
Because I'm looking for the big old stags. The big old stags like the most gnarly country you can find. There's big stags everywhere, old stags everywhere, but generally when I go into that tiger country, it's harder for people to get to. It's harder for people to hunt, move around, like you say. So there's a higher chance that there's going to be that older age class animal in there.
What year? Like, just for reference, for people's reference, what's an old animal?
An old animal, in my opinion, is an animal that's around the 8-year-old mark. Like that's kind of the level that I'm striving for to find. Older, better. If it's a little bit younger, I assess it on them at the moment. But I mean, in a dream scenario, I'd want to take something that's like right at the end of its time. That's kind of my plan. It's got all those life experiences, and it's dodged helicopter hunting, 1080 poisoning, all foot hunting, all the stuff. So it's they're pretty hard challenge. And circling back, like I guess I like to go into these situations for the adventure, but when you add the challenge and this sort of talks about what you just spoke on about the hiking, like why don't I just go hiking? So I like to throw in the challenge of actually hunting something like this because I like the hunt. I think I still like deeply ingrained a hunter. I like the hunt, and when you're targeting those old ones, it's like a grind, bro. So it's like that keeps my mental game real on point, and you don't know if you're going to be able to pull it off, but it puts like a high level benchmark that I'm striving to do, going into the most wild country, hunting the hardest, grinding it out, and then just targeting something that's so hard to find and so elusive.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, if I can be successful on it, then it's like, like I feel pretty good, and the story that I capture from that is generally like I'm happy with it,
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes total sense, man. So you're looking for animals with like the crown right down on the skull and like old, big bodied. Like you can tell.
Yeah, low pedicles. But yeah, I mean the antlers are kind of irrelevant. It's just it's the situation. It's where it is, and it's just needs to be an old animal. Like I'm not looking out there to shoot the biggest stag in the world. That's not really my goal. It's just literally to target the old crafty wise ones, that are going to make it hard for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's say like equal shot opportunity, 6-ish year old 12, 14 pointer, like just say the most magnificent shape you've ever seen, or a 10-point 8 to 10-year-old big old animal. What would Jay Wilds choose?
So right then, as you're saying that to me, my body flared up when you said 8 to 10-year-old, big old 8 to 10-year-old. So I'm just picturing like I had a visual image of those animals when you were saying that, and the 5 to 6-year-old, whatever you said first, it's got a certain look to it. But then when you get to that older age class, they're like a whole different beast, man. When you just remove the antlers, talking about the body and the mannerism, how they act, all that stuff, and I visually saw those animals as you said them to me, and instantly my body got all tingly about the older one. So I mean, yeah, man, you've the hunt we did, the stag we saw on the first day, dude. That was
He was mean, bro.
That's the sort of stag you're after.
He was
but
a creature.
I mean, there's nothing against people targeting and hunting all types of animals, but this is me personally. This is what I like. So, a 5 to 6-year-old 12 pointer, 14 pointer, there's a lot of years ahead of him where he's gonna, if you're looking at it from a trophy perspective or a breeding perspective, like he's got a lot ahead of him. Big old 8 to 10 point old boy. That's a pretty cool animal. Like you've probably seen there's a few antlers lying around and stuff like that. So some of those stags, you go and have a close look at them, man. They're monsters. You can just see they're big old boys, and they might not be the most giant trophy, but for me they're friggin' the story of the hunt, the videos I've got out of it, just the memories are amazing, man.
That's really cool, man. And I think like that's really good. And the reason I asked that question is to give people more context and some thought, because a lot of people will go, I know you're local to New Zealand, but it's still a mission for you to do what you do, because you have to you're on the North Island, you ferry down to the South Island, car, gear, all the expenses involved with all of that sort of stuff to do what you do and be away from your family for months, man. Literally, well, not necessarily months, but long periods of time anyway, whatever that looks like. Another question I have is, how do you maintain that level of mentality? Actually, no, I'm going to ask a different question first, and then I'm going to ask that question. How did you progress from hunting? Like, you started off hunting, or you got into it and you did pigs and a few bits and pieces, and then you ended up on, when you got to the point of red stags and you got obsessed with red stags. How did that look then versus now? Like, your progression in like what animals you target, where you go, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, massively different. Yeah,
Explain me.
hugely different. So, first experiences with hunting deer, red deer and stuff, and being up here where we are currently, there's no wild deer. There's a few pockets here and there, but it's not to go deer hunting, you've got to travel. So every year, me and a couple of buddies would basically do a road trip down, and we would hunt. I don't know, like you'd be driving 5, 6, 7, 8 hours just to get to the area where you can start even thinking about hunting. So every year we'd do we'd call it the raw trip. So in the rut, in the raw, we'd go down and we'd do 2 or 3 weeks hunting, and we'd basically save up for it all year. This is from when I might be 17, 18 years old, starting doing our own raw trips. And we'd go down and we'd just get into it, man. And yeah, we didn't know how to do it. I didn't know. I had to learn how to deer hunt, but we figured it out as we went. And back then it was just like, if I roared something in, I was going to pull the trigger on it and take some meat home, and take some antlers home and have a good time. That was kind of the goal. And we'd only be deer hunting like 2 or 3 weeks out of the year, and it was just go down, and if it's a stag, that's what we want, Like it was all on the menu basically. But then as I got older, as I progressed in my hunting and got more experienced and all that sort of stuff, just quickly skim over the guiding, became a professional guide, and did all the years guiding and, working with clients and working with lots of animals. That sort of probably shaped my perspective, I reckon, a lot. And then when it came to COVID, and all of a sudden now I'm not guiding, and now I'm about to step into YouTube full time. Like, I'd been doing YouTube for 10 plus years or whatever before that. But I started my YouTube channel in actually 2012. So yeah, 8 years before COVID. Now I'm full-time YouTube, focusing only on creating YouTube and monetizing it. And that's what I'm doing for a career now. So all of a sudden, I remember the first hunt. And I don't know if we spoke about this on our last podcast, so I don't want to double up, but...
No, hit it. I don't remember talking about it.
You don't?
Not in detail, no.
Yeah, so I remember my first hunt in 2020 after, all the lockdowns lifted and all that shit. And this is going to be my first YouTube-focused hunt adventure. Me and my old dog, we went up into like some real gnarly country. We hiked in, and I shot a nice old stag, documented the whole thing, made a couple of episodes out of it. And it was literally the first stag I had shot myself in 10 years. I'd shot animals throughout the period of guiding and all that, but it's just like, client makes a bad shot, boom, I have to shoot it, or I have to track it down and then find it and shoot it, it's different. But now I'm hunting for myself for the first time in 10 years, shoot the first stag I've ever shot in 10 years, and I was just like, man, that was freaking cool. Those videos are on my channel as well, by the way. There's 2 of them from that trip. And yeah, that sort of got me real excited, man. But on that particular trip, I'd seen many stags, many deer, and decided not to shoot them because I was after like a nice older animal. And if you skip way back, I would have shot the first stag I saw when I was younger. But then throughout the guiding, the time guiding, the progression through the guiding, now it's time for me to hunt myself. I'm looking for an old one. So there must have been
you grew an appreciation for them, I guess.
Yeah, and a solid transition through that professional time And then obviously once the YouTube's sort of kicked off and I was like, yeah, I can do this. Then I was like, well, I'm able to hunt 6 months of the year non-stop if I want to, or longer, but that's kind of my time I allocated for hunting. Half the year hunting, half the year fishing. So I'm like, okay, how do I keep it exciting for me? And how do I keep it so I don't lose interest in this? And then that's when I was like, well, I really like targeting the real old boys. So maybe I'll just make the personal rule that that's what I do. I just go in and I look for the oldest animal I can find and try and really make it hard for myself, but try and really spend time and create a cool adventure focused around targeting something that's hard to find, man.
That makes total sense. And I think like that you explained that perfectly, where you've built an appreciation for the animals and it's scaled to the point where you're like, oh, these stags are next level. And I think it does a level of respect to those animals and like level of respect to hunting and to deer in general. How do you maintain, which is my next question, how do you maintain that level of stability in your mind? And anyone who hunts and has hunted for long periods of time understands this. You're out in a mountain for 10 days, 12 days, 14 days, and you've passed up so many animals because they're just not quite what you want. How do you, and most people will fold, right? And they'll shoot one because they need the content or they want to take a trophy home and they've spent all this money and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that level of mentality to go, nah, I'd rather go home empty-handed than shoot a deer I'm not 100% happy with?
Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't go home until I've got it. So as you know, like doing what I do, I'm very flexible on time through that time of the year. So if day number 5, I haven't found the animal, I keep hunting. Day number 10, I'm still in the zone, still haven't found it, I keep hunting. I'm constantly talking to Scott, like on the inReach or now satellite texting. I'm like, a few more days, and I can just keep going. I've got enough power, I've got enough battery systems and charging systems and generally enough food and all of the stuff to, like some of the solo hunts I do, bro, I've got enough food to last a month. I'm not even joking. Like that big grey box we carried up from a boat shed, that is normally full of food. Literally a month's worth of food if I need to. I wouldn't want to stay in there for a month because I do need to break it up and go to different locations and create different stories. So it's not good time management from a video creating point of view. But if I'm in a zone and I know there's a big old stag in there, I'm happy to stay in there until I get him.
That's impressive.
And I just keep, I don't need to fly out. Like my wife, Catherine, she's a saint, as you know.
She's a trooper, man.
She can manage the family, and she knows that time of year is time precious for me to be able to do the hunting because through the roar and stuff, it only happens once a year. So if I'm not getting the films, it means I've got to do more trips. So what I do is, like, if I get into a location and it's a good location and I know that there's a chance of finding the sort of caliber of animal I'm after, I'm happy to stay in there for as long as it takes, man.
That's impressive. Spin the question then to your everyday person that, let's just say an Australian, for example.
Yep.
They come over here for 2 weeks at the raw, or 10 days or whatever else, or 7. So they've got a limited time and limited budget because they've saved all year to be able to afford to go here.
Yep.
And let's just put you in their shoes. How do you maintain the mentality for that? To pass up and be happy to go home empty-handed if it's not. Because like I said before, most people will cave and just shoot an animal.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, in my opinion, for the sake of shooting an animal.
Yeah. And I think that's real personal, man. Like it's everyone's going to have a different look on that. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's going to have a different mentality on that, but it's a lot harder for someone to come over, whether it's an American or an Australian or whoever. It's a lot harder for them to come over to New Zealand. They've only got a window of an 8 to 10 day trip or whatever, and they know that if they don't shoot something in that time frame, they're going home empty handed. That's probably a pretty tough pill to swallow, So yeah, that I don't know if I could answer that for people, but I could probably just.
What's your opinion on it?
So yeah, my opinion on it. I sort of like if the guys are prepared to, like, I don't know, most people that come over, they will shoot something, And quite often it's like right at the end of the trip, they'll go and shoot like a 2-year-old stag or something. So that, as long as they're happy, I guess it's a good thing. But for me, like if it was me personally, I'd be happy to go home empty-handed. But I'm different because I know that next week I'm going back in again.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
So I'm probably not the best one to really be talking about it because I'm, as you know, like, dude, I'm when it's the hunting season for me, that's what's happening. I'm hunting every day for months. So it's a lot different to someone that's coming over for a trip. Like for you, when you do your trip next year, you know you're going to be hunting for what 5 to 10 days before we match up,
it'll be probably a good 10,
vice versa. But you know, there's a high chance. I don't know what sort of benchmark you're setting on what you're targeting, like animal wise, but there's a chance you might not get something, man. Especially if you're bow hunting, bro. Like your odds are pretty low, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my standards is probably not your lockdown caliber, but like I want a big mature animal. I'm not really worried about points or anything like that. I'm looking for a big bodied, old mature animal. And if it's 10, if it's 12, if it's 14, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
Points wise. So similar mindset to you, I guess. And then
Dude, you might not even find a 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm happy for me personally to go home and not have an animal. Is basically where I'm at.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful, bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty powerful that you'll do that.
Because I don't hunt for that reason, so to speak. I love, and I'm kind of weird this way, like I love the physicality of it.
Yeah.
And I love how brutal and unforgiving New Zealand is. And I love just being out looking and trying to trick an animal, essentially. Not even trick them, or get in on an animal where it doesn't even know I'm there.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate just watching them a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm in no rush to take a trophy stag here or at home on like Chittler on my local deer, I guess. I'm in no rush. I'd rather pass up 5, 10 animals and wait and take me 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then I shoot the first one I shoot is a good one. In between that, I'd rather just shoot hinds for meat.
Yeah. Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But also like Melanie's hunting with me as well. And she's of the same mentality. She's shot a lot of nice red stags over the years. But I'm basically hunting, and if she gets a chance to, like if I take an animal, that's the only animal I'll hunt.
Yep.
If I take one, because I don't want to be greedy and stuff like that. And so then Melanie will probably hunt as well, and she's a rifle hunter. But at no point in time, like if I find a stag that I like, and say it's 400 meters away, and I can't physically get to it to get into bow range, Melanie won't be shooting it.
Yeah. Right.
So we're just gonna like take our time, because I'm also like my own boss too, so I can stay there if I want to. Outside of what we're doing, I can hang out and just get Scott to move me if I have to.
I think if anyone's listening to this and they're trying to think about their situation and how they'd go, I always say, and you've heard me say this a million times, but if it gets you excited, then that's all you need. But I mean, for me to be excited on a stag, I love seeing them. I love seeing every stag, but for me to get excited, it's generally when I'm looking at something that's hard to find, one of those big old boys. But for someone that's coming over to New Zealand that's gonna only have a small window, just don't just shoot anything, but make sure you're actually happy with it. You know? Yeah. Make sure you're happy with the decision, and you're not just going to shoot it just for the sake of it. It's not just like the last day and you're like, oh yeah, there's a young promising stag there, but I'm just going to shoot it so I don't go home empty-handed.
That's a shit mentality.
Yeah, but people do that, bro.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really dislike is when you bump into people, and you know, when we're at wherever it might be, like a heli hangar or whatever, bump into hunters and we're talking, and they're like, hey, getting on, and I'll just quickly give them a rundown, and then they'll say, yeah, I've had a pretty shit week, you know. We shot say 9 stags, but they're all shitters, you know. And what they're saying there, for anyone that doesn't understand that, is they're looking for a big old stag, but they've just shot 9 shitters, and 9 shitters generally mean 9 young stags, but they're not happy about it, you know. It's just like, oh yeah, nah, pretty shit trip. We only shot shitters, heaps of them, you know, whatever. If they had just left all those shitters, or been more
selective,
then what's that going to do?
Do
you know what I mean?
Well, they could grow into monsters, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That pissed me off.
That's what I'm saying.
That like you telling me that story annoyed me a lot.
That story stories like that have been told to me literally many, many times over the years at communal areas where hunters all get together, whether it's a helicopter base or whatever. Yeah. When I hear that, I'm just instantly like, oh man, you're holding out for a big stag, but you've just shot a whole lot of shitters, which in theory means you've shot a whole lot of young stags. You know, there'll be the odd exception, of course, but most of the time it's all just young, small stags, but they're wondering why they're not finding any big old stags.
And I can almost guarantee you they're the people that complain when they can't find shit. The reason why they can't find big old stags is because they shoot all the young ones before they get the chance to be fucking big.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It pisses me off. That annoys the shit out of me, man. I didn't know it was that bad, but like I know people do it, but like that you have encountered that on multiple occasions is hard, man. That's heavy.
So, you know,
you're hunting for the wrong reasons.
The deer in New Zealand need to be managed. Like there's as with any game animal or any sort of herd, there does need to be animal management for sure. And I'm not against animal management in that, but when in that situation, it just grinds my gears. Yeah, we didn't find any big old ones, but we shot 9 young ones.
Yeah.
You know? And then next year they go into the same spot. Oh, we didn't find any old ones, but we shot 5 young ones. You know, because most people hunt the same zones every year because they know it, which is cool. But yeah, anyway, little rant there, I suppose.
No, man, it needs to be said because the fishing industry is the same. Like people with that mentality are doing it for the wrong reasons, man. Like if you're gun happy and you like the smell of gunpowder, go to a fucking range and shoot, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. That shit annoys me, man. Like because they're hurting the industry. They're hurting the sustainability and future of the species. They're hurting other hunters. There's no positive thing in what they're doing. And I can guarantee you the most meat that those kind of people take out is a fucking couple of backstraps. And I can almost guarantee nearly all of those stags that they shot would be left laying there and no one would have touched a piece of meat. If you're taking 9 stags and you're taking you're stripping them all out and taking all the meat home, fair enough. I can probably understand that, but still I'd shoot hinds. Like, why not? It tastes better anyway.
Yeah.
But like, that really gets up my goat, man. I'm not a hectic experienced hunter. I don't claim to be one, but I do claim to have the best interest for the animals and the sustainability and the future of hunting at the forefront of my mind.
Right.
And I think that is like disgusting behavior, to be honest. Fight me on it, anyone, if you want. I'll argue that shit because that's fucking gross. Man, on a positive note, because this podcast will come out before your hunting. Will come out after, your next 1 or 2 whatever hunting films. Spin me a yarn on the best one of those yet to come out, and I'll wait to air this afterwards.
I just don't know which ones I'm going to release yet. There's quite a few that I've got banked up, and I'm trying to decide. Like the latest one that's on the channel now, the one I've just released maybe 10 days ago, or whatever. I did a little poll on Instagram, j.e.wilds. If you don't follow me, go and jump on there. Shameless plug. But anyway, I did a little poll, I think, and I was like, what hunt do you want to see on the channel next? Of a solo stag hunt, or do you want to see a hunt with me and Joe Fluerty, tar hunting kind of thing? And people, one of the biggest, not one of the biggest comments I get, but a pretty popular comment is, bring Joe Fluerty back, because the chemistry between me and Joe is wild. He's like a brother to me. I've known him for I don't even know how many years, like 15 years or more, probably more actually. I don't even know. But anyway, so yeah, the Joe Fluerty hunt was the people's choice, so I put that up, and it cranked, bro. It's cranking. It's going really well. I'm actually real stoked with it. So.
Since it's already up, sorry, finish what you're saying. Sorry.
I was just going to finish on was, so I actually don't know what I'm going to post next, but there's a pretty good chance it'll be a solo stag hunt. I think. I think that's what I'm going to post next.
Spin me the yarn with Fluerty, because I know half of it. I haven't watched the full episode or anything because it's already out. We might as well talk about it.
Yeah.
And some people probably haven't watched it, so they can swing off here onto their YouTube channel.
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
yeah, just tell me what was epic about it. Like, spin me a yarn, like explain the hunt as if I've never seen it. Like, oh, we just had the best
Yeah.
bull tar
Okay.
hunt,
So
and give me the dirty laundry because I know there is some.
you want it? I
I
don't
want
know. Joe won't be happy about that, bro.
Won't he?
Probably not. But
Oh
I'll
man.
blame. Okay. If you prompt me that and I say that, then you got to take all the brunt.
Okay, I'll take all the heat,
Yeah.
and I'll tell him that we did it first, and then if it no, I'm gonna tell him that we did it and we recorded it, and then if he doesn't like it and he's proper upset, I'll just cut it out of the episode.
Yeah. He'll be listening to this right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what happened is, so me and Joe, Joe used to film for me. So he used to film for the YouTube channel and stuff like that. And honestly, bro, like the nuts and bolts to that is, when I was doing the YouTube, like when I started, okay, I'm going to make this a full-time thing. I decided I had a decision to make, and that was, one was make a TV show that aired on public television network, and the second one was to host it online, and obviously YouTube is the primary platform for that. I luckily had the future forethought and could see that TV was basically very on the way down. And back then it was still pretty high, like brands were still putting solid marketing budget behind TV shows, blah, blah, blah. But I could see that it was trending down, and I could see that within the next, 4 years or so, it was going to be really down. So I decided to go all in on YouTube and host my show on YouTube. So in the early days, pitching to the early brand partners, I gave them two options. The bigger brand partners, I gave them two options. One was a package where I did everything solo. Second was a package where I did everything with a camera guy. And basically, the second package was literally just so that me and Joe could hunt together. Like, I could have done it all myself, but now we're adding another camera guy, and which was Joe. I wouldn't have got anyone else to do it. And he'll be filming stuff, and we'll be doing all these hunts together. That was kind of the goal. And as it was, all the brands were like, bro, we want get the camera guy, and that's gonna be sick. And so anyway, next thing you know, me and Joe are like, we're doing these hunts back to back, filming for the show. And the first ever episode we did, I don't know if I've spoken about this online before. The first episode we did for our series, we shot a stag out of a tree. We climbed a tree and shot a stag. Like, it was a raw block, an incredibly difficult raw block. It was a wilderness block, so no helicopter access apart from, this particular time when you get a ballot. You get basically a permit to land. So we got dropped in there. We had this place for 8 days, incredibly remote, incredibly wild, and it was tough, man. Like, we struggled, and it come to like the I think we had 2 days left or something, and we were focusing on this one particular area that was kind of our last chance to find something decent. I think we'd seen deer, but we'd had a lot of bad weather because, as you know, the west coast of New Zealand, South Island gets fucking bad weather at times. Sorry for the swear word.
No, I've been swearing. It's all
Have you?
good. Yeah, I swear on you.
But yeah, so the weather's a big one. But anyway, so long story short, here's a little ADHD tangent that I just had. So
do it.
So you know how there's the saying "long story short"?
Yeah.
Catherine last night to me, she showed me a meme, and she's like, "Look at this. This is exactly me, and this is exactly what I do." And it said, "Instead of long story short, what about short story long?" And Catherine's like, "I do that on a daily basis." So anyway, so we'll stick to the long story short. Back to what we're talking about. So we've got this final couple of days, and we've pretty much got one big clearing, one big river flat meadow, whatever you want to call it, one big area where I know there's going to be deer, and that's our last resort. If we don't see anything on here on this last evening, we're going home empty-handed. That was just it. Like, the whole week has been not worth it, basically. So as it was, me and Joe were hunting it super carefully. We weren't pushing. We were just really, really cautious on how we hunted it. And we ended up getting up into an area, but we couldn't see over the whole meadow. And the idea was we wanted to sit on this meadow for the evening until dark. And it's a really good grassy area, which means there's going to be females that want to be feeding there just on dark. And at that time of the year, being the rut, if there's females, there's most likely going to be a mature dominant stag with them. So the goal was get somewhere where we could see this clearing, wait for the females to come out, and then a big stag will follow them out just on dark. That was what we were hoping for. Big risk, man, because it's our last evening. If we're sitting on a clearing and nothing comes out, we could have been out hunting the river or, trying to find something else. So it was a big risk, but we were pretty positive that we were going to see something. So, we get to the clearing and we realize we can't see enough of it from down on the low area, like on the, valley floor. We can't see enough of it to actually make this work. So there's this big tree, like kind of not in the middle of the clearing, but just back on our side of the clearing. And we're at the base of it, and Joe Fluerty's like, why don't we climb the tree? And we looked at each other like instantly surely not. And then we're actually like, yeah, that's a fucking good idea. So next thing you know, we're climbing this tree. We get right to the top, and it's a big tree. And we're in this tree, and we just set up. Like, I've got this little branch I'm perched on. Joe's out to my left, and he's perched on another branch. He's got my camera with the long lens sitting in there, and we're sitting on the top of this tree just waiting. And I remember it was pretty funny. But right on dark, we're waiting the entire evening, the entire day. Nothing, not a movement, zero activity, zero deer, and then it's literally coming into the last few minutes of daylight, like literally a few minutes away from us going home empty-handed, when we see a yearling and a hind walk out this creek in front of us, about 100 meters away. And so we get the camera on them, blah, 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 and then a big stag walks out behind them. And this is literally minutes away from being too dark to shoot. Like, at the very last time of the trip. We had no more days, basically. And so this big stag walks out, and we end up making a good shot on him, and we couldn't believe it. We were just like, did that just happen? There could not have been we couldn't have left it any later if we tried. You know what I mean? So we were stoked. We ended up getting this big stag. We recovered it. We did all the things, made the film. That video it performed incredibly well on the channel. But where I'm going with this is that first hunt was the first hunt for the series and stuff, and Joe was the cameraman, but quite a lot of it I was still vlogging, man. So he wasn't filming the whole hunt. He was running the big cameras, and he had a Sony as well, and he was running. But it was a cool hunt, but I was still vlogging it as well. So it kind of defeated the purpose of having Joe as a camera guy. But as it was, there's no way I could have filmed it in the tree. There's no way I could have done it by myself. But where I'm going with this is it nailed home that is such a good memory that me and him now share. And the hardest hunt, one of the hardest hunts we've ever done, probably. And we left it right till the last minute, and it was a success in the end. And the video performed incredibly well to millions across the world. So that was real cool. That kicked off the whole thing with me and Joe. Episode number 1 in the bag, incredibly tough but successful. And it was just kind of onwards and upwards from there, man. And Joe, obviously, for the next episodes along, I let go of me having to film. I felt like I was still wanting to film shit. But afterwards, I was like, no, Joe can do it. He's a good camera operator. He can do it. And I should just let him do it. So he started filming more and more of the content for the episodes after that, and it was amazing. So, yeah, that's kind of, I don't know if I was meant to answer your question, but what do you say about that?
That's a good yarn, man. That is a really good yarn. No, I asked to tell the story of the tar hunt, but that's still still very relevant.
So anyway, now I know where I kind of got mixed up here. So that was the intro of it. Me and Joe did a couple of seasons or 3 seasons. I don't know how many we did. We did a lot of hunts, a lot of filming, and all that. And just think, before we were doing this YouTube stuff, me and Joe were guiding together. We were hunting together a lot. We'd spent years and years together doing shit. So anyway, when the borders opened up and the travel bubble, the travel resumed, and all the hunting outfitters were now back in operation, basically, me and him got hit up by so many different outfitters around the country to come work for them. Come and guide, come and film, do this. We're looking for blah, blah, blah. For me, I said no to them all because I was happy doing the YouTube, and I'd got fully established, and I knew I could make it work. But Joe had an opportunity it was too good to pass up, basically. So he went and did that. which meant we were no longer hunting and filming together. So, yeah, there was a period of years there where we didn't even, we'd hang out as I'm traveling through to do my YouTube stuff. I'd be going through his area and I'd stop and we'd have lunch or dinner or whatever, but we weren't hunting together. So the tahr hunt that's just released is the first hunt in 3 years. So when we did it, it was the first hunt together in 3 whole years. So it was pretty special, man. It was pretty special that we'd finally actually done it. And what had happened is we'd blocked out a window. We're like, we're doing a hunt in that time frame. It was after his New Zealand season. It was when I was, keen to do a hunt. And we just blocked it out months in advance. So now we're doing it. So first hunt in 3 years. Amazing to be back in the mountains with Joe. And it started off, we wanted to hunt tahr. We wanted to get a good bull each. I hadn't done a tahr hunt that year. So I was pretty keen to go and do tahr. I'd been too focused on stags and stuff. And we're getting up into some good country that we'd sort of been scouting out. But to be honest, we didn't really go to the level of sort of e-scouting and preparation that I normally would when I'm going into an area. We sort of picked a zone. Okay, that's good. Had a quick scout. Yep, let's go in and figure it out. So it was a little bit different. Normally I know exactly this, if I go down this ridge, it's going to take me to this area. I fully study the crap out of a zone. But this one we're kind of going in semi prepared, if that makes sense. We fly up in there and then, we start filming. We're getting stuff. Joe's filming me, set up the tent and all that. And then I don't know if I want to tell the next bit or not.
It's up to you. It's a good yarn. It is going to throw Fluerty on the bus. It's not that bad, though. It's not going to ruin his trip.
It's funny.
It is funny.
I'm going to tell it. Joe, you're just going to have to hate me for it forever.
No, you can hate me for prying to get it out of you.
So anyway, Joe's filming me set up my tent. And then next thing you know, Joe's like, bro, where is my pack? And where is my, his bags and stuff? And we look around. His stuff wasn't even there. None of it. He had one bag. I think he had his hunting pack or something, but his camp bag, his tent, sleeping bag, all of that stuff was not with us. Now we've just done a helicopter flight with Heli Rural, a massive flight over the divide, big long flight, and he realised that none of his gear was with us. So we both jumped on the phones, satellite texted Caroline back at base saying, "Can you tell Scott to check the back of the helicopter, as he's flying or whatever, and see if there's a couple of bags in there." And turns out there wasn't. And then what had happened, man, is when we were at the hangar prior to flying, when we're loading and stuff, we're filming, we're doing stuff, there was quite a lot of people coming in, just random people and stuff. And they were sort of interrupting us and talking to us, talking to us about our adventures and stuff, which is cool, but it threw us off a lot. It made us sort of lose our rhythm and lose our routine. And I remember with Joe's stuff, we pulled it out of his ute and put it on the ground, and then his ute got moved without him moving it. And then next thing you know, we get dragged off with these other people and they were asking questions and stuff. And next thing you know, here, but then we had time pressure. We needed to get in the air. So we got really thrown off. And what had happened is Joe's bags had just been put to the side. And as we're loading the machine, he's filming, he's doing random shit. We're trying to actually focus on the task. We didn't realize his bags had been moved out of the zone that we were focusing on. So they were left in the hangar, man. His bags were in the hangar. Which is kind of it's a big deal, really, if you think about it. We were right at the end of the day. Scott was fully booked out with flying. The 500, the blue machine was locked in on jobs for the rest of the day, and there wasn't much time. And so we're thinking, what the heck are we going to do? We're in the wild West Coast, which, as you know, is not, you don't take that place for lightly, bro. So we're thinking, what can we do? Obviously, I've got my tents, but I've only got one sleeping bag, and we could have made it work, but it wasn't going to be pretty if we had to stay the first night without enough gear for both of us. So, anyway, Scott somehow, and Scott's just such a good bastard, as you know.
He is.
Somehow, he managed to hire another helicopter and fly in with that other helicopter with Joe's gear and drop it off that same night, just before dark. So him flying home, he was flying home just you know, there wasn't much time to spare with daylight. Like, he got in and out, and it was a long flight too. So, yeah, that didn't make it in the video because I didn't want to put it in there for Joe's sake, but it was just one of those, it was one of those fuck arounds where just shit was we were just distracted too much, man, at the hangar. Like, our normal system was thrown out of whack because there's so much else going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've seen those hangars, like,
Yeah.
you've seen, there's lots of hunters there, excited people.
Shit everywhere, bro.
Yeah, it was just like lots of gear. But main thing is when people are talking to you, it throws you off your task. You're focused, like, I need to do this. But then when someone's like pulls you away and talks to you about their new rifle, or, you know, someone that's just come out of the mountains, you know, oh, want to talk to you about this, Joe, blah, blah, blah. Then it kind of throws you off your rhythm. And that's what happened, man. So we just got thrown off. Yeah, but a crazy start to the hunt, dude. Crazy start to the hunt. So we were laughing about it. Joe was just like, he couldn't believe it. And I was just cracking up, bro. Anyway, so yeah, we managed to get the stuff, and we set up the camp or whatever. And then, yeah, man, the hunting was cool. The hunting was really good. We were kind of like in the midst of the zone. We were finding bulltail like pretty close to camp. Well, not close to camp, but we were close to camp glassing them.
Yep.
And then, yeah, without telling the whole storyline, but yeah, we managed to get 2 bulls. We got a bull each, which was wild. And that was kind of our goal going into it, was like, how cool would it be to double up and get an animal each? And yeah, we managed to do it, bro. We got a really nice bull tail each, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. Like, to share the story too, like to circle back after you haven't seen each other for years and then go and have a super successful hunt. That funny piece will, like, probably be in your memories more than the tail will.
Oh, no, it will be, yeah. Both me and Joe, 100%, yeah. All right,
Yeah,
let's take a quick break, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say I need a pee break.
Yeah, can we pause this, guy?
Yep, just hit that red button. You're right, you can check that. We're back. Quick pee break.
Yeah. Coffee, they get you, man.
Man, I'm about to have another one. I'm fanging, hey.
I made a extra strong one in me. What do you think about my cup, man?
That's a pretty fancy loophole cup.
Yeah, they sent it me for a Christmas present last year.
It's like a beer. Is it a beer stein?
Yeah, it's full. Yeah, it is. Like, it's full ceramic.
That's mad.
Yeah, big loophole. Which camera's on me?
That one.
That was a Christmas present from Loophole. They look after me, those fellas.
They're such a good brand, man. I really like Loophole. I like their brand ID. I like their products. They're real high quality stuff, and I like that they promote shit being used. Like their imagery and their lifestyle content and everything. It's all shit with dirt on it and scratches and a bit of blood, and like it's used product.
Yeah,
and I love that. That's a brand that does that, because it's a very high end brand, man. And the fact that it does that's impressive.
It's one of my favorite brands that I work with, man, to be honest.
Yep.
I work direct to Loophole USA, and that's the thing. They froth on just genuine content and me doing what I'm doing. Like, they tell me, you know, like you say, if it looks like it's beaten and battle scarred, and there's water all over it, scratches, dirt and stuff, that's the shit they want. Because that's real, bro, you know?
It is.
That's real.
You're not going to take some dude seriously walking around with this big, beautiful, polished scope, man. Doing what you do, the amount of times that you do it, pushing through scrub and sliding down scree fields, and like, you try and keep your shit nice, but like it gets snow on it, it gets dirt on it, it gets rain and fingerprints and like a bit of blood and all sorts of shit, man. Like, yeah, that's real life. I like brands that do that tell true stories.
Yeah, 100%, man.
I'm a massive fan. I want to just quickly segue into, excuse me, into the fishing scene, bro.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not going to ask that question, because the short of it is, I've got this big project with Joe that's going to take me probably almost 2 years to put together. And there's a lot of questions there that I really want Joe, that are really detailed, complex questions that I want Joe to take his time to answer. And I don't want to dilute those answers in the project when you've already heard them here through the podcast. I have to be very careful to dance around it. I'll change the question slightly. Where you fished before you hunted?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that start? So you had your hunting channel and stuff before your fishing channel, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what made you decide to do your fishing content? Was it because of the downtime in the hunting season? Outside of the hunting season?
so fishing, living and you've explored my zone, where I live and stuff like that. So you can see that fishing's like a big part of this area, a big part of what goes down up here, basically. So fishing is for sure like a natural, easy thing to get into as a kid, and I've been fishing ever since I could hang on to a fishing rod, kind of thing. So it was always part of what I did. But as far as like the filming and storytelling and stuff like that, the hunting was the one that I was actually telling the stories on. So the original YouTube channel, it was I can't remember if it was 2010 or 2012 when I started that hunting channel. It was one or the two. I know it was one of those years. But obviously before that, I'd still done a lot of hunting prior, and then fishing had been around for a long time. When it comes to actually making a dedicated fishing channel, it was actually Briggsy's idea, and Briggsy's got a lot to, he can take credit for quite a bit of stuff, I suppose.
Same with literally, like, I did a podcast with Mr. Molossi yesterday, and he literally said the same thing. So he went after just stargazed, like walking around there, and he bumped into Briggsy, like actually physically bumped into him.
I think he went after for Briggsy.
I
think that's how it went down.
That's a different yarn. Yeah, righto. So he spun it as if he like bumped into Briggsy, like physically bumped him and going, "Oh, sorry, man," and "Oh, who are you?" And then like had that yarn.
Oh, I don't know. No,
he might be playing it down.
He
on
might
Johnny.
be Johnny Molossi. Eh? No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we talked about this on one of my podcasts, and he wanted to go in there specifically to talk about his lures to Morning Tide guys.
Makes sense, because we did tap into the Morning Tide, OG Morning Tide scene, how they sort of put that from the Stones type perspective on the map.
Yeah. So circling back, Briggsy's got a lot to answer for. He's got a lot of credit to take, I should say. So me and Briggsy did. I think we first hung out in 2017 or 2018 or whatever. I went and did some stuff with him in Australia, and then Briggsy came over here to New Zealand for a kingfish trip. So we did that. I can't remember what year that was. Might have been 2018, potentially 2019. I don't know, but either or. At the time at home, Briggsy's like, "Bro, I reckon you should start a fishing channel." Like, because we talked about my hunting channel, and I remember him saying like, "Man, you're like the OG vlogger. I've been vlogging since like way back in the day, but just on my hunting channel." And he's like, "You should start a fishing channel. We'll do it right now." So me and him signed up a fishing channel, mate, created the account and everything, like literally right there and then. And and ever since then, I'm now sort of like doing the both of them instead of just hunting. It's fishing as well. So half the year hunting, half the year fishing is kind of the thing.
But you shoot enough content for both of the channels to tick along 12 months continuously, which is impressive.
Yeah. So with the fishing, it's a bit easier to get bulk content, and with the fishing, I try to have in a season. I try to get as much content as I can possibly muster up, so that throughout the year I can just regularly release episodes. That's kind of the goal with the fishing. It's a bit easier. For example, if we go on a big 5-day trip, there's a chance I might get 5 episodes from it. If that sort of thing. Like, it's a lot easier to get content for the fishing channel. With the hunting channel, it's a lot harder because, and we spoke about this in the car ride on our last trip with JC last week. I don't know if you want to go into it or not, but
no, hit it.
With the hunting channel, it's like if I did that same kind of structure, I guess it doesn't. I shouldn't say it doesn't work because we know it works, but I don't know how I feel about it just yet. And to elaborate on that is with a fishing channel, if I do, for an example, let's talk about 2 5-day trips, a 5-day fishing trip, a 5-day hunting trip. Now, on the 5-day fishing trip, I can do an episode per day. So from dawn till dusk is a whole episode, and I just document everything that happened in that time frame. That's an episode, boom. So fishing channel, as long as you're catching fish through the day and there's excitement, you can get 5 episodes out of a 5-day trip. So with the hunting channel, it's a little bit harder because circling right back to the start of the podcast, I don't like to shoot just any old animal. It's got to be like something that gets me excited. So in a 5-day hunt, I'm not going to shoot 5 big old stags. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot harder to get bulk content into hunting when I'm basing my episode structure around one animal. Like the start is the setup, and then the end of the video is me sitting with the big stag we've just got. That's kind of how I structure those hunts. So it could be sometimes, like it takes me sometimes like a couple of weeks to get one episode on a hunting channel, which is not good time management, but it's just how it is. So where I'm trying to go with this is, if I was to do like a daily episode, like dawn till dusk on a 5-day hunt and try to get 5 episodes, there's going to be 4 episodes where I'm just waking up in my tent and then all the daily activities, finding animals, tracking animals, finding new clues of where big stags live in, whatever, like what happens in the day, and then the episode finishes at the end of the day at night time. On the 5th episode, if I'm lucky, which generally, it wouldn't happen, but on the 5th episode would be the finale of, oh yeah, I finally got the animal. So there's 5 episodes on hunting, but it doesn't seem to work that way as far as a structure. But on the anomaly, in the side quest of this, is I tried this last year. We've already had a big discussion about it. So you tell me, you pull me up if you've got questions or you don't want to go into it. But last year I did a hunt, and it's literally, to this day, the best hunt in my life ever. And it's a long story, but what it was is I've had a raw block, and I flew into this raw block, and pretty early on in the trip, I found there was a big stag in there, like the stag that gets me excited. There's a lot of deer around, beautiful zone, but I found that there was a stag in there that I got excited about. So I made it my mission to hunt only for that stag. So I spent the rest of my time in there hunting just for that one animal. And every day I'd be having encounters with other stags, other deer, like lots of cool stuff, man, like lots of cool shit. And it was a real storyline, man. Like it was like the next day I had some new clues about this stag from the day before. So I'd be starting to uncover little clues. And throughout the time I was in there, I'm uncovering these clues, which is leading me to these clues and this. So it's kind of like I'm unlocking stuff as I go. And I documented everything, man. I documented all of this. And I was like, when it come to the end of it, I was in there for so long and I had so much content. I was like, man, if I compress this down into one episode, like an hour-long episode or a half an hour-long episode, whatever it might be, there's so much cool shit that's not going to make it in. So that's when I thought, well, what if I did like a daily kind of breakdown of this big hunt with the very end goal is me getting the stag, because, spoiler alert, I get the stag I'm after. But I thought, okay, in America they do a lot. Like there's a lot of YouTube channels that do
day by day
days. Yeah, so it might be like, okay, it's elk season, it's September. They make an episode per day. Like, okay, on September the 14th, this is what happened. This is us pulling up at the trailhead. This is us doing the hunt, all the excitement we had through the day. Whether they get something or not, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, they cap it off. All right, well, that was a good day. We learned this, we did this, we wish we had done this better. But tomorrow we're going to be doing this. And they would release, literally, like some of the channels are dropping 30 videos in September, or however many days are in September, 29, I don't even know. So, you know what I mean? So right there, that like it works for some of these American channels. And I was thinking like, man, I've got some cool shit from this hunt. I've got a cool story. It's like unlocking puzzle pieces as I go. Like there's some cool content. I'm going to try the day by day. But I didn't do it as a single day, as a single episode. I did it like every 2 days was an episode kind of thing. So I ended up getting 6 episodes from the trip. And for me personally, amazing. I love the structure. I love the storyline. When I'm 80 years old, looking back on that, I'll literally be able to relive the hunt exactly how it happened and be stoked about it. So all working up towards getting this one stag, which I end up getting. Amazing hunt. Best hunt of my life, legit. So I dropped those episodes just prior to the Raw this year. So I was hanging on to them for a whole year, and then I released them this year. And yeah, man, like it was interesting, the feedback. The videos, as far as YouTube's concerned, performed exceptionally well. They all did really well. I released them on Monday. So Monday, one would go up, and then the following Monday, part 2 would go up. The following Monday, part 3 would go up. So it was over a 6-week period, the whole series dropped. But what I found is that when it got to like episode 3 or episode 4, and just remember, like each episode has its own mini storyline of like what happened in that day. But if you're watching the whole series, you're also getting like a bigger picture of the whole thing. So each episode is entertaining in itself. But I was finding that there's quite a lot of comments rolling in of dudes like, oh, you're just milking this now, man. Or, you know, like, oh, hurry up and shoot the stag already. This is getting ridiculous. That kind of stuff. Like people that just wanted me to shoot the stag. People that weren't seeing it from a bigger picture of like, no, man, enjoy this journey. This is like pretty in-depth, behind the scenes kind of stuff. Amazing footage and a really cool storyline. But there was definitely a big portion of people that weren't frothing on it. And so these numbers are rough, but I know they're pretty close in some ways. But for example, I might have had this is probably a bit blown out of proportion, but say I have 100 people commenting saying, I'm unsubscribing. I would have had at least 20 of those comments, but there's probably more people that would have unsubscribed. But let's just say the number of 100. I'm unsubscribing. This is getting ridiculous. I'm sick of you doing this hunting and not shooting a deer yet, even though I'm seeing lots of deer through each episode. I'm unsubscribing. So say there's 100 people that unsubscribed. In that time period, I think I had at least 10. At one point I looked, and I don't even think this was all the way through the series. This is probably not even finished. You know, now to be crazy, the difference. But back then I checked, and I'd had 10,000 new subscribers just due to this series. So say I lost 100 dudes that are pissed off because I'm posting videos, not shooting stags in these videos. But then I'm gaining 10,000 more guys that are like, dude, this is amazing. I'm loving the storyline. I'm loving the adventure going on, and you're taking us on this adventure. That was pretty cool numbers. But in my mind, and you probably got a few things to ask me about this, but in my mind, I'm just like looking at the negatives, and we know that the negative ones are the things that stick. But I'm looking at the negatives like, people aren't liking it. People aren't enjoying it. But the negatives are just the ones that are getting to me, even though there's probably like 10% negative and, 90% of dudes like, fuck, more of this. Because people want more content all the time. Another example is, many, many comments I say, because I do 10 episodes a year on my hunting channel. That's what I do. I promise my brand partners that I'm going to film 10 episodes that will release within a 12-month period of them being filmed. So I do 10 episodes per season, and what that means is people generally want to see more content. We want more regular uploads. I'm always getting those comments like, more. So now all of a sudden I'm doing an episode a day, episode a week, like very regular as far as that hunting channel goes. And now I'm like getting comments of dudes like, oh, you're milking it, blah, 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 too much. Just shoot the deer already. I'm unsubscribing. It's like, dude, how do I battle that? Like what do I do? So in my mind, it's like, it makes sense for me to make, as long as I can create a cool story and have cool encounters and actually make an entertaining episode, it makes way more sense for me to do more of like a day by day or maybe 2 days combined into one episode kind of thing of these big trips. As long as there's content within it that makes it exciting, than it does compressing a 16-day hunt or whatever it is into 30 minutes. It's, if people want to see more content, that's how it is. Because I'm not going to go out and shoot. Say I did an episode per week for the rest of the year. I'm not going to go out and shoot 52 stags. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I just wouldn't do it. So, yeah, that's kind of a big battle I'm facing. Is like, do I do more content and have more episodes, but more based around the adventure and the what happens in this couple of day period, or do I just keep it down to like only 10 episodes, and each episode's either based around me getting an animal or leading up to getting an animal on the next episode? Because sometimes I still break it into two. If it's crazy action, and then the next episode will be me finishing the hunt basically with an animal. So yeah, what do I do? Like, from your point of view, what do you think? Do I do more content, more based around the storytelling, or do I just stick to an episode as a stag being shot, the next episode's another stag, the next episode's a tar? Like, what do you reckon?
I'm gonna elaborate on it, but at first I'm gonna make you answer your own question. Which is more beneficial for business?
100% the day by day.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
But to elaborate,
I've done more ad revenue on the channel during that mini series than I've ever done ever.
Then focus on that would be my opinion. But because that answers your question. Because are you going to cater to 100 people that don't like it and lose money and lose 10,000 followers and lose authenticity to yourself and the stories that you want to tell?
Yeah.
And like you're catering to the minority that technically aren't even your target audience anyway, really. Like if they're there just to see a dead deer, they're on the wrong channel, man, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Would be my take on it. And you're going to shoot yourself cut your nose off to spite your face is a saying that I was taught as a kid, is where like the value in you doing it that way. And there's a whole audience there that appreciates that sort of thing that you already have, plus an audience that you're going to get from doing that. And all of the people that don't like it can fuck off and go watch somebody else, is my opinion. And it's a hard, like, it's easy to say that here. It's hard when you got bulk heckle on and you're a public figure and you're getting all those negative comments and all that sort of stuff, because you see them more. I think as humans, we're very risk averse behaviorally, right? So we're always looking for the bad so we can avoid it.
Yeah.
Which is why people are lazy and fat and all those other fucking reasons, because they avoid the hard things.
Yeah.
Same thing. My opinion on it would be stay true to what your core viewership wants and appreciates, and stay true to what you enjoy doing. And you literally you answered the question in my mind when you said, when I'm 80, I can look back and I can see the whole documented story. It's essentially a documentary, what you've done.
Yeah.
You've just split it over 5 episodes, like a TV series. So like if you compress that into one big thing and didn't put part 1, part 2, and just faded in between everything, you'd have a whole 60-minute, 80-minute, 90-minute, 120-minute documentary on yourself, man, on that hunt.
Oh, the episodes are 40 minutes long.
Yeah. And then if that hunt meant so much and that was one of your favorite hunts you've ever done, why not document it at that level? You know what I mean? You're cutting out all the shit.
Yeah. So another idea I had was, what if I did like these multi-episode sort of structures on a hunt? And you know, I've said this a couple of times already, but I'll say it one more time. As long as the episode is entertaining and has action, you know, close encounters, has cool shit, like a storyline of me learning about things and uncovering new tips that ultimately lead me to where I'm trying to get to at the end of it. As long as it's got a cool mini story inside each episode. So if you just tuned into the channel and you didn't watch part 1, you just tuned in for, the first episode's this one and it happened to be part 3, it still needs to be entertaining to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You still need to get something from it too.
But what I was going to say is, you know, what if I could potentially do the little mini series day by day structure, but then at the end of it, compress them all and do like a 4 or 5 hour big video. You know, how would that work? You know, like that's gonna.
I think there's a market for everybody, and there's a slice of the pie for everybody. And I think if you're thinking like this, it obviously feels like a good idea to you, because you wouldn't be talking about it now if you gave that much of a shit.
Yeah.
I feel like you think it's a good idea.
I do think it's a good idea.
Yeah, so then do it and fuck everybody else. Because what I think is, if it pivots, it's not a hard pivot, right? It's just basically changing your deliverables in the exact same niche, same industry, same everything. There's this whole market that you're not catering to now, that you don't even know exist.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're going to pick up all of those people, and the analytics are right there in front of you. You lost 100 subscribers, but you gained 10,000.
Yeah.
The market's bigger there. So I would just do it and fuck those people. Can you unsubscribe people from your own channel?
Bro, I looked into it, because when people were hitting me up like, this is fucking bullshit, I'm over this, I'm sick of you dragging this on, you're milking this to death. If I could unsubscribe that dude, I was trying to do it.
Yeah.
Those are the people I don't want involved with my content.
Yeah.
I don't want those people in there. I want someone that's going to tune in and enjoy the whole adventure. whether I shoot something or not. Like, just be part of it and experience it with me. That's the audience that I like. And I know I've got a big audience of that. But it's the dudes that are just tuning in for the kill shot. And they're the same. Like, bro, this answers that even further. Some comments were like, some comments are dudes saying to me in the comments that they just fast forward to the kill shot in every one of my videos anyway. If I could unsubscribe those dudes, I would do that in a heartbeat. Because it's harming the YouTube performance, but it's also, that's not my audience. I want them to experience the wilderness adventure as it is that I'm trying to portray. I'm not a kill shot compilation channel. There's plenty of those out there.
Go watch them.
And yeah, but you can't. So you can't unsubscribe people, otherwise it already would have done. Yeah.
Well, I think you've answered your own question, my friend. And I think you'll gain more sticking to the plan.
Yeah, but okay, this is another curveball. So Hunter McWaters, if you listen to this, bro, I love you. Mutual friend of ours. Mm-hmm. We filmed the hunt with him. But he was even dropping things like he was sick of waiting. Like, he said a few comments. He was sick of waiting that I hadn't shot the stag yet. So even him, a friend of ours, is like, just shoot the stag already, bro. And that kind of also twigged me out, and I always think about it. Even to this day, I still find myself thinking about it. So, yeah.
I feel like it'd be weird if you didn't, because then you'd have some sort of social disorder where you just don't see people's feelings and you don't have feelings yourself towards anything. And it means that you care. I think, like, and I can talk from experience, not in the same way, but I pivoted. Everyone told me initially that I couldn't make a business solely creating in an outdoor space.
Yeah.
And initially I couldn't, because I had to do a bit of everything for the money.
Yeah.
And I was still working full time, doing this basically full time.
Yeah.
I was doing like 100-hour weeks basically. And I was like, no, fuck you. I'm going to do it because you say I can't, because I just like proving people wrong anyway. And two, because no one's done it properly before at the scale that I want to do it at. There's a lot of freelancers and all that sort of stuff, and there's a lot of big production companies. But what I want to build is in between that and very different. And I've built it, basically. Bro. And it's a similar thing. And now the business...
Yeah, you're crushing.
Yeah. We got to that point, and then we have all these smaller businesses and startups and local clients and smaller brands and like local retailers and things like that. And I'm like, this isn't sustainable for the business model that I have.
Mm.
So I need to rip the Band-Aid off and remove some of these people. And some of them are beautiful humans, man. The best clients I've ever had.
Yeah.
But we weren't priced at a point where we could service them. And we had our fingers in 100 pies with a limited skeleton crew, which is what I want.
Yeah.
I want a small team, an intimate team. But because we were spread so thinly across so many clients, we weren't servicing them as well as we should. And we weren't doing our own work as well as we should, because we had, let's just say, 50 clients for low money, low income revenue. I needed to pivot the business into brands, big brands like Loophole, like, not that Loophole's a client, but Loophole, for example, like big head brands like motherships, to be able to have less clients and more revenue. And it was a fucking hard transition, man, for me to let those people go and to pivot and say like, oh, you're so expensive now and all that sort of stuff. It's almost exactly the same principle, where I was still in the same industry, I was still doing the same thing, but I pivoted my target market slightly.
Yeah.
And it's scaled my business at a rate that is like I'm struggling to keep up. Like Melanie and I have to sit down weekly for hours, man, and like methodically plan everything.
Yeah.
I'm a CEO, I'm a director, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a producer, I'm
lead cameraman.
Literally, bro, I do like I wear 100 hats, and then I've got a whole team of guys and stuff that do the exact same kind of thing. Like, it's very different. And we've had to pivot. And now it's at that point where it's like scaling at a rate where I'm like now struggling to meet what I've created. And I think that's where, I guess we're in a similar position, man. Like, you're crushing it. I wouldn't say I'm crushing it, but I'd say I'm on my way to do that. But I am pretty hard on myself and my expectations. I think like what you're doing, and if you do take that route, it's going to be more beneficial. You're going to get more people on your channel that are more aligned with you and how you feel about what you do.
Yeah.
And I think you're always going to have those people that are going to give you heckle. You're always going to have those people that are comments. And it does sting when your friends do it, because my friends have done it. I've lost friends because of like when they say pass their opinions on and you don't agree with them, and then you feel the need to sit there and write this fucking paragraph to justify your actions. I just don't do it anymore because they're never going to get it anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's totally fine. Like, I don't take offense to it. If you've got an opinion, and fucking pass it. But ultimately, it's my business. It's my decision. And you just have to stick to the plan regardless of the noise.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's a hard thing to do.
Another side effect too is, with the brands I work with, instead of them getting 10 episodes a year where I'm using their product and the environment it's designed for, all of a sudden it could be 30 episodes a year. Like there's a lot more. There's a lot more to it than just, I guess there's lots of angles. The consumer's getting more content. I'm getting more content. I'm getting basically, I wouldn't say easier content, but I'm getting a bigger pool to draw content from to create
Library, yeah.
stories. Yeah, bigger library. The brands I work with, they're all of a sudden going to be getting shitloads more content, so they're going to be stoked as well. Because, bro, like, man, some of the footage I have not deleted because I keep everything backed up in hard drives, but some of the footage that hasn't made it into films is wild, man. It's wild. And it's just, it'll probably just never never make the light of day just because the film's been done, it's uploaded on YouTube, it's a 10-day hunt compressed to 38 minutes or whatever it is. There's hours, if not days and days of footage just on their hard drives backed up that once I move on to the next hunt, I can't remember what's in some of those old folders, you know what I mean? But if I was to do like a more regular structure where it's more of a day-by-day kind of experience, then yeah, a lot of that stuff's going to be implemented and used, which would be pretty cool.
Exactly. Well, all of those things you gain, I'll ask the other side of the fence, what do you lose? 100 dickheads.
100 tucker wasters.
Yeah, that's all you lose, man. Like when you look at it at a analytical, like a rational level, the decision's plain as day. It's just because we apply human emotion to it, which is hard.
Who knows, man? Like it could be there could be other stuff that'll happen too. Like it's currently, if I post a video now, I can be pretty positive it's got a high chance of going viral. Or like if a video of mine hits 300k views, then I'm like happy. If it does under 100k, I'm not stoked.
Mm-hmm.
So something's not going right. So the other thing too is if I post a video now, I know there's a pretty high chance that it's going to get 200 to 500k views. There's a chance it'll crack a mil. But if I start doing daily breakdowns, then who knows? Who knows what the view counts will be? Like, will my channel drop and sort of? It's a tough one because YouTube's so like dialed in, and it's like as long as you're getting the videos in the core audience that enjoy and watch the content, it's going to perform exceptionally well. Mm. But if I'm posting all of a sudden 30 episodes instead of 10 fine-tuned start to kill episodes, but now I'm doing 30, like there might be 10 kill shots or 15 kill shots in that 30 episode structure. Is the view count's going to drop down or are they going to increase? I mean, you look at Outdoor Boys, he goes out, does a crazy adventure, when he was doing YouTube, does a crazy adventure in some cool zone, documents it basically all on a GoPro, bro. Like not even using what I'm using with all the big cameras and shit, and it cranks. Mm-hmm. And there's an appetite of people just wanting to live in the moment and live in the adventure. So as long as it tapped into that type of audience, it'll do well. But there's no promises, man. You know what I mean?
I think it'll probably, like, if you continue doing that consistently, it'll probably dip a little bit. Like you'd probably dip, then it'll climb, and the gradient will be above what you already have anyway. I think long term.
Yeah,
I think do it. Fuck them, and then still do a wrapped episode at the end where you compress it all into.
Yeah,
I know that's more expense and time and all
no, it's not really. It's literally just if I've got all the episodes filmed and edited, then it's pretty simple to just chuck them all together. Like let me just open this up, man.
Do that, and I'm just gonna check the SD card on this camera.
Yeah. Is it dead?
No, it's just low. We've got 23 minutes.
Well, that's good. We've got 10 minutes until 11, and we were meant to leave here at 11. I haven't even finished packing. Awesome. Okay, so this is I'm going to read out the view counts from that mini-series. Episode 1, 307,000. Episode 2, 153,000. Episode 3, 138,000. Episode 4, 104,000. Episode 5, 255,000. Episode 6, which is the final, 407,000.
That's a hard one because the initial episode, just based on what I just heard then that very second, was the first episode. I think you got a lot of views because people thought that it was a standard J Wilds episode. And I think the last episode is because it's the same people thinking that this is it, this is where the stag's going to die.
Yeah.
And then it dipped in the middle
Yeah, for
because
sure.
they were like, I don't need to see any of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which kind of contradicts our discussion. But I think that's only statistics that are going to be initial ones. And I'm not a YouTube expert, so I'm just passing on my personal opinion on the thing. Is like, I feel like if you start pivoting, it'll dip. But the thing is, you still got over 100,000 views on every single episode, which is your minimum standard for yourself by the sounds of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it hits 300K, then I'm stoked. If it's under 100K, I'm not stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, I feel like, man, my opinion would be just do it. I hope you do it. I hope you stay true to yourself.
Where are you posting this pod? Is this on YouTube?
This will be YouTube.
Yeah, so anyone, these guys are going to be able to comment. So why don't we see if there's some comments? If you guys have got an opinion on us, drop a comment, man. Do I keep it more compressed into just a kill shot, like at the end of each video, a kill shot or whatever? Or do I open it up and create a lot more content and more regular content on my channel, but in that more sort of...
We'll collab post it because then it'll pick up your audience and they can actually engage directly. That sounds cool.
Sweet. So fully comment below. Like, tell me what you think. Is it something that you're interested in? Is it something that you're not interested in? Like, be brutal, man. Like, yes or no, basically. That's kind of what we need.
Don't be disrespectful, but be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. Yeah,
100%.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'll just unsubscribe you. It's all good. No.
We actually were talking about fishing, so let's quickly hit that.
Yeah.
That's really good chat though. Like, that's the sort of shit I really enjoy in talking with people. It's not so much the front of house, I go fishing and do this and I hunt and I do this. It's more like what motivates and the business behind it all and the mentality behind it all. I really respect that sort of shit, and that's what interests me, and that's why I do these podcasts. The fishing stuff, I just want to understand what got you on the stones chasing big kingfish in the first place.
Yeah.
It's a completely segue, like a split question.
Yeah. Okay, so I used to work when I was younger in my teens, I used to work in like tackle shops and fishing shops. And I don't know, I was just drawn to kingfish for me ever since I was a little kid, fishing the jetties and stuff at 7 years old. Every now and again we'd get kingfish like swoop in and just destroy the area, detonate the area. And they were always, we'd always see them as like almost like a godlike figure, because we can't catch them. We kids, we can't catch them. They fly and they destroy everything, and it's just like mythical creature.
Yep.
That's kind of the vibe. So growing up, like in my teens and stuff, when I started working in a tackle shop and I had access to like better gear and discounts where I could buy it at a cheaper price and stuff like that, I did, man. And I remember getting a kingfish setup. It was actually a jig setup, so short rod, but a heavy duty reel that could handle kings. But then I'd buy like topwater lures and stuff through work and get them at pretty good discounts. And then I'd go out and I'd just land base. Like, I didn't have a boat or anything. And what I learned about these kings is they'd hunt the coastline. They'd hunt right against the rocks, and the rocks were accessible to me because I can just walk out there. I don't need a boat. Didn't have a boat, but it was within reach. So I remember I literally, and I'm still like working I'm still at school and shit, but part time at these shops. But I remember I started just going to some zones, and it would be a bit of a hike in, and I'd just fish and cast these lures. And at the time, there was no one doing it. I didn't know anyone that was literally casting topwater lures off the rocks in New Zealand. I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. Like, my mates were all fishermen, but none of us were experienced at doing that sort of stuff. So I was just kind of casting and figuring it out. And eventually I started catching fish, but more, mostly I was just getting destroyed by fish. Like, the smaller ones I'd catch, bigger ones definitely won't catch. And then, this sort of just progressed from there. And then a while later, Morning Tide hit the scene with their stuff. And so I remember when I came across that, I was like, these dudes are doing the same shit that I'm doing, but in Australia. And I remember getting excited about watching people fishing topwater off rocks, off the ledges and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. A lot of it was sort of figuring it out. A lot of it was that topwater stuff, throwing lures back in the day. I was doing a bit of live baiting earlier than that too. But yeah, it just progressed from there, kind of thing. I just go out and do it, yeah. And then a few of my mates would get zoned in on it, and then we started doing trips where we'd actually go out and dedicate topwater. And yeah, just it's always been around, I guess, man. And now it's kind of like what I'm known for in New Zealand is that chasing kings off the rocks and stuff like that on the lures.
That's impressive. It's hardcore, man. It's pretty hectic. Like this mission we're about to do, which we'll wrap this up now so we can actually go and get ready for it. Is pretty hectic, man. It's I won't allude to too much because I don't know how far I can tread with like the location and how and all that sort of stuff. But it's a mission. It's a physically demanding mission. Mountain spec, bro.
Mountain spec. Yeah, we're gonna do a full breakdown afterwards. Me, you, and Malossi. Muzz if possible, but I don't think we can get Muzz in because I only got 3 mics. But
I might be able to work something out.
We could always use a lav mic.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how the dynamic's going to be with 4 of us.
Or you put the boom. We can talk about it offline.
Yeah,
we can put a boom arm in a different spot. Anyway, I love the trip wraps, man. They're awesome, and like I'm stoked to be able to be a part of this side of your sort of business and lifestyle and stuff too. It's been awesome to come up here and hang out, man, for so long. One thing I will say is like we're cooking up a mad project, and it's going to be like a really, really detailed long-term project. It's going to take me 2 years to develop. I'm back and forth to New Zealand a lot. I'll see you next month for some more. We're hanging out together in the rut. I'm coming over to hunt myself, and then I know I'm going with you first, aren't I?
I think that's probably how we're going to have to do it, man.
Yeah. So you and I will go first for however long, and then come back out, and then you've got some brand partners and stuff, and doing a few bits and pieces, collabs and things, and then I'll go and hunt, and I'm just gonna like book flights over and not book flights home, and I'm just gonna stay in the mountains for as long as I need to.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna do a J Wild spec minus the coffees, bro.
You and Mal.
Yeah,
bro, the coffees, man.
Nah, the mountain coffees can't happen, man. You can't do it.
What are you up to?
I'm just taking check these questions real quick.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll hit them on the way out if there's any decent ones.
The coffee's black coffee. That's how I drink it.
No. What is the coffee though?
Instant coffee.
Instant Moccona.
Yep.
Out of a bag, and then he puts water in it as well.
Yep. Black coffee.
It's hardcore, man. It's very hardcore.
It's what I drink in the mountains, and now it's just overlapped into my home drinking. So, what I drink in the mountains is exactly what I drink here because I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
I actually like it. It's fine. I prefer this than like a percolated coffee, to be honest. Muzz is a percolate guy.
Oh, is Muzz bringing a percolator?
Well, I don't know if he will on this trip. Too hectic, but I would prefer my coffee than that style French press coffees. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
All right.
But it's just probably because I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a filter vase over, and I'm gonna make you one at the hangar. I'll pick the 3 best ones. Yep. Any danger of hunting episodes in the US, Australia, Africa in the future?
Definitely. Yeah, like we nearly did an Australia hunt this year, but just didn't line up for time at the last minute. Me and you.
Yep.
So yeah, Australia's going to happen. I mean, Australia's been on the cards for a long time, but I just haven't committed to it because New Zealand, I'm just so dialed on it, and I like to spend my time in New Zealand hunting.
Yep.
But in the off season in New Zealand, and as you know, Wade, I've got my structure, my years. Like I sort of finish up the New Zealand stuff around July-ish, August sometimes, whatever. But if we say I've got August until November, kind of free,
Yep.
And that's when we normally go to Australia for a few months or whatever. I do my GT trips with the boys. Into any international trips I need to do, I generally do them in that block. And then come November, that's when I'm starting to flare up for the New Zealand season. But so Australia's going to happen. USA is definitely going to happen. I just need a lock in on it, man.
Perfect.
Many invites, put it that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Andre reckons, when the fuck are we going fishing, Joe? It's been 6 years.
Dre, you are the most useless person I know because I've invited you so many times and you just never hit me up at the time for doing it. So it's your fault, bro. that's Andre from the Hunters Club,
Yeah. Yep. Bevan Bush, he asked me, and just hit them really high and maybe like to pick 2 or 3.
Yep.
Mountain tar tips going in June next year.
Be prepared for wild weather is the key. Find good glassy knobs and just watch morning and evening in particular, but watch like a hawk because they can hide in the smallest patch of scrub. And yeah, just look for the big old boys, big old bulls. There's a whole video breaking down on what to look for with a big bull. Doesn't have to be a giant horn bull, but a mature bull is what you want. Big cape and stuff, not a young bull. Have fun, but be careful. New Zealand's wild.
It is, man. It's people think it's not dangerous because there's no animals, man, but it's fucking dangerous. The weather here is unforgiving.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up, man. Let's pack this bag up and shit. It's always a pleasure. I love talking to you. I really appreciate our friendship, man, in general, but I really like these conversations where we can sit down and chew some stuff out because I think we align on so many things on so many levels.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful.
Yeah, likewise, bro. 100%, man. I'm stoked you're here. You've been here for a while. We've got a bit more time together, so yeah, it's been great.
My little New Zealand family now.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.